Okay, kiddos. So today we're going to be working with pattern. Okay. And what I've got for you here is a number of things that you're going to be using. Okay. So we have our big paper that has two small papers taped to it and two square papers taped to it. And then we've got a rectangle. All right. The rectangle is loose right now. Don't worry about that. Okay. You also have a paper with some instructions and the slideshow in your Google Classroom. So we are going to be working with crayons today. Now, I don't normally use crayons because it's kind of an elementary school thing, but for what we're going to do, they're going to be perfect. First thing I want you to do is read the instructions. And it says on the first small paper, you will draw a regular pattern using lines. Regular line patterns are repeated lines of the same type, like stripes. Okay, so I'm going to go on to my first piece of paper. I'm going to pick a few colors for now. I just kind of did it randomly and grabbed a handful. And you can use one color or you can use a bunch of colors. That's up to you. So you're going to pick a line. Also giving you this. Some of these you can use, some of them you cannot. So we are not using the spiral or the rainbow looking one. We're not using the radial one either. Do not use those two. Okay? 3, sorry. No arch, no spiral, no radial. Now, you can have your lines going diagonally. You can have them going up and down, or you can have them going horizontally side to side. That's up to you. I think for my piece, I'm going to have them going up and down. And I'm going to use 3 colors. You can use as many colors as you want, and you don't have to do the exact same lines that I do. Okay, you get to pick what you want to do. I think I'm going to go with a wiggly line. Now remember, this is going to be a regular pattern, which means that it repeats the exact same way. So I've done 3 of these purple ones. Maybe I want to switch to a different color. Oh, and before I forget, kiddos, make sure that you are pushing nice and hard with these crayons. It is important. You'll find out why next week. So I've done 2 colors so far. I'm putting a third one on here, and I'm about to run out of space. But you saw how carefully I did that? Okay? I didn't just scribble, scrabble, or go fast. That's not how Mr. H rolls. So now you're going to look at your instructions for the next thing. You can pause my video and do this one a while if you want. Remember, any type of lines you want, any colors you want, including what? White. Yes, you can use white, and you'll find out more about that next week too. All right, so my next one says, on the second small paper, you will draw an irregular pattern using lines, like straight, curved, zigzag, wave, zigzag, curly. So it's kind of random lines, but the pattern itself is lines. Even if they are different, it's still repeating lines. So I can sit there and say, all right, I'm going to start with a wavy line. And then I'm going to do some more colors out here. I'm going to do a zigzag. And I'm pressing hard, which sometimes you break the crayon, that's okay. And then maybe I want to go with a new color. And I'm going to do the bouncy line. And then for my next one, I'm going to go with the yellow and I'm going to make a straight line. And hopefully you're getting the idea by now that I'm making them lines, but they are very random. They don't repeat the exact same way like in this one. So you may pause up my video and do a nice, careful job on the next one. Remember, we press hard with our crayons. It's very important. Okay, so hopefully you paused and did those two. Now, I'm going to put this aside because we're not going to need this anymore for now. We'll read on. Okay, on the first square paper, you will draw a regular pattern using shapes. So, with your crayons, you're going to think of shapes. And you are going to draw a regular pattern using shapes. Trying to keep the shapes that you pick, circle, square, triangle, whatever you want, okay, about this size and repeating over and over and over again in the square. And then you can choose a couple colors to fill them in. So maybe I want to do a pattern with the colors inside of my shapes. Well, since we're doing a regular pattern, those colors have to stay the same exact pattern over and over and over again. So and again, kids, please don't copy off of me. Come up with your own ideas. So I know that because these are going to repeat the same exact way, I know which ones are going to get filled in with certain colors. Now you can see here, Mr. H made a mistake, didn't he? Okay, I've got this little blue one and then a red one here. So I'm going to try and fix that. Made a boo-boo. There we go. And again, we are pressing hard and filling these in nice and neatly as possible. And there you go. So you can pause it up and pick a shape, your own shape, triangle, circle, square, rectangle, oval, whatever you want, and fill this card up with that. And then last but not least on this paper, it says, on the second square paper, you will draw an irregular pattern using shapes. Irregular shape patterns are repeated shapes of different types, kind of like a cow's skin or camouflage. Okay, so what you can do is you can use random shapes. You can use geometric shapes like diamonds, and then of different sizes. This is just an example, okay? You could make organic shapes where you repeat kind of weird round shapes, okay? It's up to you. So right now I'm sticking kind of with this diamond theme, but they're all different sizes, so they are irregular. They're not exactly the same the whole way through, but it's still a pattern because we're repeating the diamonds over and over again. They're just not exactly the same. Okay, so again, kids, do your own. Don't copy off of me. It could be any kind of shape you could make up, all right? And then you can color these in any way you want, completely randomly, all right? So you can use 10 different colors if you want, okay? You can even color the background if you want on both of these, okay? I would love for you to fill the paper up with different color. Right now, like I said, I'm going totally random. So that's how we are going to be doing this little activity. Okay. So fill everything up with color. And again, you can do the background on these too. Okay. Don't be afraid to use plenty of crayon. All right. Now, but you don't have to do the background. You can leave that white if you want. We're going to paint over this next week with a special paint. Okay. So that is that part of it. This paper, this one doesn't take too long. Okay. This one, I specifically want you to use white. Okay. So, and I left a space on your gray paper for it. And I just want you to write random lines and shapes. Even though you won't see them, okay? Just keep making marks and lines. And I want you to just keep going. Even though you can't see it, just do some weird stuff. Okay? You can go right over top of stuff you already did. Now, again, I can't see what's happening on this paper because I'm using white crayon, and that's all right. Just do a bunch of stuff. Okay? Once you are done, you're going to pick a color. You're going to write your name on the gray paper. And it goes in your folder.